experience, I think across the different countries, everyone is different. Every person is different. Every street is different. Even in London, going from East London to Central London, it's completely different culture as well. So it's never a taken that you think that you could kind of easily come in and design something that you have done in your country and think that it will work here. I've never seen that work before. So I think that's something I learned over time as well.
Yes, you have put it so rightly because, in our society, like I visit different societies in my own city, and the people and the culture is different in each areas because of their different assets and their different, geography, the things that are available to them, like the resources that are available to them. And
Mm,
they are different because of them, and also because of their upbringing, because every society has its own culture and the way they are brought up. So the people bring in the values in the area they live. So
yeah.
you have put it so rightly that it is different and it's amazing in its own essence as well.
Yeah, and I think that as I mean, like speaking broadly about just the practice of design as well, I think that it's also interesting to think about just who comes into design practice as well in that sense, because oftentimes, frankly, I think it's the middle class people who study design a lot of times. I mean, we have just had to acknowledge that a lot of designers come, the social standing is different. And I think that there's also oftentimes as designers and architects, we have this kind of top-down view, almost like a god-like type of thinking that you can design from the top-down view and not from the bottom up. And I think that needs to be I mean, obviously, I think in this I mean, we have seen a lot happening and changing this over this many years. But I think that that's something that I think we are constantly interrogating this idea that the egoistical architect and artists, that designers that can do, come up with one solution that can solve everything. But again, I would say oftentimes we've seen cases by cases, it failed. So there's never a way that you can do it that well. So yeah. Anyway, just adding on to that.
Yeah, and the placemaking movement, I love the idea of placemaking. Like I was studying architecture, then I came towards placemaking, is because they are trying to focus and they are taking a stand about starting from the bottom to up. And
Mm,
it's amazing, like getting to know people and then involving in the process. The result is very different, and sometimes it's not something which is iconic in as per today's time. It's not iconic, but it is so culturally accepted and it has emotional values that it lasts longer than the iconic ones.
completely agree with you. I think there's this kind of I think we need to reinterrogate, which I think it is happening already.
Yeah.
This kind of the aesthetical quality. Like there's a lot of star architects designing, very stylistic buildings in different cities, and which you can tell instantly who did what. But I think nowadays, I think there's a desire for people to want something that works on the ground and not just a visual kind of sexy items in space. And I think that's it's interesting to see the change.